Welcome back to the Monday MLB Central, presented by Hyundai. Joel Sherman in studio with us days after the unfortunate news of a tear in Shohei's UCL. First and foremost, good morning to you. Our hearts hurt for him, the best in our sport. But we have been anticipating, Joel, for all year long what this offseason would look like. Where's he going? What kind of money is he going to get? Set the stage for what kind of player Shohei is now entering his free agency.
So a week ago, we're obviously dealing with, and I still think it's going to be the largest free agent contract of all time. Over the last 3 years, I think sometimes because we do this every day, we lose the magic of it. The only hitter who had a higher OPS than him was Aaron Judge.
Okay.
The only starting pitcher that had a lower OPS than him was Corbin Burns. By the way, that guy also, over the last 3 years, leads the major leagues in triples and has the 16th most steals. So it's the unique player in the history of the sport. And now it looks like we're going to take away one of those elements, the pitching element, for at least 2024, if this is a need for a second Tommy John. And I even wonder if he'll pitch in 2025. Remember, the last time he had Tommy John surgery, he missed essentially 2 seasons because it's not like he could have a normal rehab next year because he's going to bat 600 times for somebody.
It's interesting.
So that's part of. This is not an uncomplicated free agency for any team.
If he needs a second Tommy John, why don't we know that? He's Shohei Ohtani. He could get it in 5 minutes. I don't understand that.
So, these are up to, Perry Minasian, the GM of the Angels, came out on Saturday. He was clearly frustrated with this idea that somehow they didn't want to MRI this player. This is a two-way decision. A player, you can't just shove a player in an MRI tube.
But at the time, it was just a cramp, right? At the time, it was a blitz, right?
Right, but I think traditionally for players who are in their free agent years, they try to stay away from like X-rays, MRIs,
sure,
etc.
I understand.
The question I have right now is, if he needs the surgery, and he could go find that out with a second opinion. So I just went, just for the heck of it, Bryce Harper returned in 178 days from Tommy John surgery to be just a hitter this year before he took some first base. Today, if he had it today, we're 213 days away from opening season. So in other words, Harper didn't play the first month last year. If he goes and gets the surgery now, he could probably be available. Now, somebody's going to sign him to a 10, 12-year contract. You say, what's a month? But if he went for the surgery right now, but clearly if you watched him play over the weekend, it isn't like it's hurting his hitting.
Sure.
He's still a great hitter, but they're out of the race. He's about to be a free agent. You might be able to be available all season. I just wonder about the timing of this, if indeed he needs the surgery and isn't just going to go for the platelet enrichment procedure.
And if a team's about to spend so much money on him, it is better by them to have it now. So, okay, so you're in the front office of the Dodgers, the Angels, New York teams, any West Coast teams, and you're kind of sorting out what you want to do and if you want to be in. What's going through your mind?
So, again, let's start with the best case scenario, Lauren.
Which is?
He's a hitter and a pitcher, which is, again, over the last 3 years, he's pitched like Corbin Burns, hit like Yordan Alvarez and Aaron Judge, and run like the Wind. So who wouldn't want him?
So in 2025, he's doing both, okay?
Is he?
But that's best case.
But even if the best case was he was pitching next year, remember what he is. He's a once-a-week starter who's a DH. So if this player's on your team, you need 5 other starting pitchers. What hasn't existed with the Angels is the kind of veteran starter, a Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, who's like, hey, I'm pitching every 5th day, like 4 days rest. So you have to figure out how to work him in around that if you're a certain kind of team. When he's pitching like that, great. You've got to play 1 reliever short, right? You've got 6 starters. Every other team's dealing with 8 relievers. You've got 7. If, as a DH, you've got to have 8 position players. You can't use those position players, especially if you have an older guy. Hey, we're going to give you some rest time as a DH. You've got the best hitter in the world. You're not going to DH somebody else. So in the best of time, there's complications. Let me throw out another complication. We mentioned it. It took him 2 seasons to come back from the Tommy John surgery last time, pretty much. So people who are just penning in and saying, well, he'll start in 2025. Will he? And for anyone who says, hey, the day he stops being a starting pitcher, he'll just move to the outfield. He's such a great athlete. Yes, he's a great athlete, but that is now he'll be entering his 30s. And could a guy who's had 2 Tommy Johns just move seamlessly to throwing in the outfield? So I think he's going to get a record contract. I think he's a great player, but an ownership group that gets him has to decide two things. We want him because he's worth so much to us off the field besides on the field.
That's the thing. You might not be able to rotate regulars through the DH spot, but it's the extra.
It's the extra.
It's the upside.
But then if I were the head of a baseball operations, I'd have to look my owner in the eye and say, we need two payrolls. We need our payroll and we need the Ohtani payroll. The example I used in the column I wrote in the Post is if our payroll is $200 million and this player costs $50 million, we have a $200 million payroll and he gets 50. We have a $250 million payroll because, again, I've got to have 5 starters. I've got to have 8 position players. I've got to figure that this guy might not be playing for a while at certain parts during this contract. He's already looking at a second Tommy John surgery, perhaps. Teams are going to bid like crazy. I hope he plays. This sounds negative. I hope he plays in New York. I want to watch him play.
Of course.
Right? But we act like this doesn't come with lots and lots of hurdles. It comes with lots and lots of hurdles.
Wow. Well explained by you. We're rooting for him. That's what we know. Jill, you're going to stick around. Robert, take it away.